Hello beautiful people, my name is Venti and today I'm bringing you the Wheel of the Year tag. The Wheel of the Year tag was created by the lovely Rhiannon from the channel Crescent Moon Reads, and I was tagged to do it by my lovely friend Katie, and I'll have both of their tag videos linked in the description box below. I highly recommend you check both of them out. They're both such wonderful, wonderful women, and I'm very excited to have become friends with them in the past year and get to start 2019 in full force, knowing them and loving books together. Now, as you may be able to tell by the sound of my voice, I am currently getting over what feels like a flu. I've been feeling pretty under the weather for most of 2019 so far, which is why there hasn't been as much content on this channel as I normally would like there to be. But just a few days ago, on February the 2nd, the pagan holiday of Imbolc happened, and it reminded me of this tag, and it reminded me of the new beginnings that I wanted to start 2019 with, so I figured what's a better time than now to do this tag and sort of introduce you guys all to some of these wonderful holidays and some of these wonderful books. Now, I'm not a practitioner of Wicca, nor am I a practitioner of witchcraft, so perhaps I'm not the best one to explain to you the sacredness of some of these terms and some of these holidays. So I highly encourage you to do your own research regarding them. And I also just want to preface this video saying that if I am incorrect about something or if I mischaracterize something, it's definitely my bad. Please let me know down below. I'll try to correct it for the next time. This video is just meant to be a whole lot of fun, so without further ado, let's get started. So fittingly, question number 1 of the Wheel of the Year tag is Imbolc. It is a holiday that symbolizes new beginnings and rebirth. It's the time when we are moving into spring out of winter. And so the prompt for this question is, what new to you book or series are you excited to start? For this, I have to say the Thief series, or the Queen's Thief series by Megan Whalen Turner. I'm not, oh, and there's my tea, one moment. Back and hydrating. Anyway, The Thief by Megan Whalen Turner. I don't know very much about this book. I know that it follows a character named Jen, and he's a very accomplished thief. However, he's also pretty big about bragging about his skills, and that gets him thrown into prison. And the only opportunity he has to escape the prison is to join a band of people coming together to steal an item out of some legend, and the story just kind of goes from there. I don't know very much about the Queen's Thief series, but I do know that one of my best bookish friends, Kayla from the Instagram handle Caught Between the Pages, who I'll have linked in the description box below, absolutely adores it, and she's currently holding a read-along for this series in anticipation for the 5th and final book. I was going to do this, but then school reading got in the way, and I'm hoping to get to, at the very least, The Thief this month because it's rather thin, and it sounds like it's going to be a real page turner, so I'm just really excited to get started on this one and to share the love of it with one of my dear friends. Question number 2 is Ostara. This is a season of perfect balance where light begins to take over the dark. It happens on the first day of spring. I'm pretty sure that this is the spring equinox. And the prompt for this is to pick a book that has a happy ending. I don't read too many books that are just 100% happy and like, oh, please stay standing. I don't read too many books that are 100% happy with their endings, and the ones I do tend to be more of the contemporary sort, which I don't normally talk much about, so I figure that for this one I'm going to mention a book that I really enjoyed from last year but I haven't talked about much, and it's A Quiet Kind of Thunder by Sarah Barnard. I read this book because it is my booktube wife Lou's favorite book, I think, of all time, and I'll have her linked in the description box below as well, so you can listen to her talk about it because she's so much more eloquent than I am. Basically, what A Quiet Kind of Thunder is it's a romance book between Steffi and Reese. Steffi is selectively mute and has really crippling anxiety, and Reese is deaf. For very different reasons, they both sort of feel on the margins of the society. Okay. Someone's up to no good, so the cops are after them. It's not me. All I do is sit in my room and talk about books. Anyway, Reese and Steffi both feel like they're a little bit on the margins of society, and they're not really taken seriously by the adults in their lives because of their so-called disabilities. And in addition to falling in love, this story is about both of them sort of realizing that they're not disabled, they're just differently abled, and that the way that they perceive the world is not in any way better or worse than the way other people do. It's just different, that they have to learn how to fall in love with themselves as well and sort of accept how they live as a normal and acceptable thing as well. And I just really enjoyed seeing them kind of both come out of their shells and learn to love themselves as well as each other. Question number 3 is Beltane. This is a season of vitality and fertility. It is the change between spring and summer and is often associated with passion and love. The prompt for this question is to pick a passionate ship from a book, whether it's canon or not canon. I'm choosing one that I think is going to be canon, and it is Isolde and Aedwin. I almost called him Baedwin. Oh god, the Witchlands. Isolde and Aedwin from the Witchlands series by Susan Dennard. This is the first book in the series. Truthwitch is Zoltan Aeduin's relationship in the most recent installment of this world called Bloodwitch. It gets better. Like, it's always been good, but it just gets way better. They get a lot closer, and oh my god, I'm trash for fated lovers. I think they might be fated lovers. They just understand each other so well, and it started as the most intense hate, and they have the potential to go into the most intense love. Like, literally, the first time they met, or not the first time, but one of the first times they met, she stabs him through the heart with a knife. Like, the moment that happened, I was like, I will die for these people. I will go down with this ship, and I will, oh my god. Yeah, The Witchlands is amazing for many, many, many a reason, but if you're really into, like, slow burn angsty ships, then definitely give it a try, because oh my god. Question number 4 is Litha. This is the longest day when the sun is in its full power. It is a time to celebrate as we begin the descent from light into the dark side of the wheel. And the prompt for this is, what character or book makes you want to party? And I don't think you can be a part of YA booktube and not say Magnus Bane for this. Magnus Bane is an immortal, bisexual warlock who is literally one of the strongest magical creatures in New York. And rather than being a, wow, that's so shiny. Rather than being like a stuffy, obnoxious butthead about it, he's like, yeah, let's party. When Magnus goes, he goes. He's got a penchant for glitter. He's got a penchant for drama. He's really, really gay. And as a gay person, I would love to be invited to one of his parties. Oh my god. Would we get along? I think he'd think I was a giant nerd, but that's okay, because he's also friends with giant nerds. He's dating a giant nerd whose name is Alec Lightwood. I mean, I guess spoilers for the Mortal Instruments. If you haven't read them by now, you're probably not going to. Either way, Magnus Bane. Would love to party with him, but I don't think it's a ride that I would survive. Question number 5 is Lammas. This is the first harvest. So at this point, we're moving into autumn, and grain is being harvested for the first time. You know, we're having a season of plenty. And the question related to this holiday is, what tasty treat would you like to pull from the pages of the books and eat? Now, this is probably proof that I wouldn't survive a Magnus Bane party. My answer is any fairy food from Holly Black / Cassie Clare's sort of world of fairy. The problem, if you're immortal and you eat fairy food, is you can't really eat any human food ever again. It tastes like ashes in your mouth, and you kind of have to stay in the world of fairy if you want access to it. And that's not a safe place to be if you're human. However, every time fairy food is described, it's just so tempting. I totally understand why Persephone stayed with Hades for 6 pomegranate seeds, because if they were like fairy food pomegranate seeds, you bet your butt I would have eaten them too. They sound amazing every single time. And yeah, I would die, but I have a really good time right before then. Question number 6 is Maven, or Mabon, M-A-B-O-N. This is again a season of perfect balance, but it's the balance where dark will soon begin to beat light. This one occurs on the first day of autumn. So Maven is a time of reflection. So reflect upon something that you're proud of. Now, I've made several achievements in the past couple months that I'm very proud of. Most probably relatable for this channel is I've worked a lot on my work in progress, and I'm almost ready to send it out to beta readers. So please let me know down below if you're interested in reading some of my dark fantasy that I've been working on. Yes, I'm referring to Project Gemini. Should I share the title? I'm not going to share the title yet, but it's going to happen soon. And if you'd like to read it, please let me know. I would love to have as many eyes on it as possible before I start fixing it up to get it ready for the querying process. And question number 7 is Samhain. This is the holiday of All Souls Eve. Some of us know it as Halloween. So this is sort of the antithesis to the vitality. It is the time of death and reflection. It's when the veil between the worlds is thinnest, and it's a time to honor your ancestors and sort of be reflective on your history and your past. The question for this you might recognize from round 1 of the Witchathon. It is to pick a book that sort of represents your ethnic heritage. Now, I'm going to be skipping this question because I have a video planned and that I'm working on that's probably going to come around Croatia's Day of Independence. That's going to be a bunch of book recommendations about Croatia and like Croatian diaspora and my personal ethnic background. So there'll be a video to you guys coming very, very soon about that. Well, I say soon, probably around July. And finally, the last question is number 8. It is Yule. Yule is the time of the deepest dark. It's the day that night is longest, darkness is at its peak, and we are all waiting for the light half of the wheel to come around again. The prompt for this one is to pick a book with a heavy topic but with a message of overall hope. And for this, I picked a book that doesn't feel very dark because the prose is very comedic, but it does touch on a very, very important subject, and that is The Exact Opposite of Okay by Laura Stephen. Long story made very, very short, The Exact Opposite of Okay follows Izzy O'Neill, who is an impoverished high school girl whose nudes get leaked, and she has to deal with the repercussions of having her trust and her bodily autonomy violated and spread around. Unfortunately for her, the uncompromising photos were taken with the son of a senator, and as such get international attention. And Izzy goes from being just, you know, a regular high school girl into an internationally reviled young woman who realizes that the way that we treat women who explore their sexuality and do anything besides sit at home being quiet little virgins is not okay. It is in fact the exact opposite of okay. Not that there's anything wrong with being a virgin, as long as it's your choice. The problem is that we don't give women a choice. Anyway, yeah, pretty heavy topic. Slut shaming, girl hate, rape culture, a lot of gross stuff. But Izzy pushes through it with the help of some of her friends and her indomitable wit. She is such a positive, wonderful character, and I'm very excited to see where her story continues in A Girl Named Shameless, which is the sequel to this book, coming out, I think, later in this year. Yeah, love Laura Steven as a writer. Definitely pick this book up. It's coming out in the States pretty soon, but until then, you can get the UK version, which is this one, on Book Depository, I think. Definitely worth a read. And that is it. That is my Wheel of the Year tag. It looks more like a line here, but know that the wheel is in my heart somehow. Thank you once again to Rhiannon and Katie, to Rhiannon for creating this tag, and for Katie for tagging me in it. So for this, I'd like to tag Noria from Noria Reads. Girl, I told you I got you for the rest of forever with the tagging. I'd also like to tag my booktube wife, Lou, from the channel Books Are a Way of Life, Grace from the channel Happy Reading, Emily from Ink Not Blood, and Emily from Page Turns, Mia from Select Pages, Binta from Positive Writer, Rachel from Rachel Marie Book Junkie, and finally Sophie from Sophisticated Books. Oh, and obviously Hannah from Snow White Reader. Silly me. I hope you lovelies enjoy this tag as much as I did. If you think I did a good job for picking out books to fit the tags, please leave this video a like, and if you like me, maybe consider subscribing to my channel. I promise I'll probably be less congested in the next video that you see. Now I'm gonna go back to binge watching, nailed it, and feeling sorry for myself. So until the next time, guys, goodbye.